Feeding the animals?
Quinn! Hey. Yeah, they put me on prisoner detail. Come on, you can tag along.
How's your old friend these days?
Oh, lovely. Thank you, Miss Corrino. I almost forgot you were aware of my existence.
We've come to an arrangement.
My personal Grubhub delivery man. I mean, actual grubs would be better than the slop you're serving, but... Quinn, Corrino. Wow. The dark EMF is poaching all the best government stooges.
You're not looking great, Athena. Eat something.
Athena clearly requires a refresher course from our time at sea together, surviving deliciously on one strand of seaweed a day.
You there, Agent?
I'm fine.
Having focus problems?
The sight of me in chains is very distracting to Chet. That's probably why Davenport sent you, Corrino. To make sure Chet isn't alone with me.
No one sent her. We just bumped into each other.
You sure?
Management trusts me.
Is that why Ford's right behind you?
Ah!
1,000 apologies, team. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't in need of any assistance.
So nice of you to visit, Ford. After you promised you wouldn't come see me anymore.
Do my ears detect the buzzing of a fly? I am just here to observe Agent Chet Phillips.
Oh, he's doing great. I bet they'll make him the boss soon. And then he can observe you.
Go ahead. Play your little mind games. Turn Benedict Arnold on everyone who shows you an ounce of kindness. Now, eat your slop or starve.
It's not sushi on Fifth, but I guess it'll do.
Everyone out.
She's grown rather brazen. Perhaps you've shown her too much kindness, Mr. Chet.
Careful, Chet. They're suspicious.
What's wrong with a little kindness, Ford?
It could be a gateway drug to, collaboration.
She's chained up in an electric cage. I see her for a total of 3 minutes each day.
You could whisper sweet coded messages to each other.
Perhaps Quinn has squealed on us.
Paranoia was always your strong suit, Quinn.
Watch your back, Chet.
I always do.
Miss Quinn, is there anything that you could tell us? Anything troubling we should know about Mr. Phillips or his state of mind?
Nope.
You're sure now?
I'm sure. You can trust him.
Mission Rejected, the story of the world's most secret agents, the backups. Tonight's episode, 8 heads in a Birkin bag.
Welcome to Been There, Done That. What can I... Oh, it's you.
I'm sorry?
We have your picture on our wall.
Oh, I don't feel that I merit a wanted poster.
Last week, you came in and ordered the May the 4th special at 11 a.m.
Your menu did not explicitly state the amount of caffeine in that drink. For the record, it was not my
And
fault.
by 3 in the morning, your roommate had to drag you out while you screamed, "Coffee skip has vanquished sleep."
It was an unintended lapse of moderation on my part. I promise no more outbursts. So, I'll have a large mocha, heavy on the chocolate, and whipped cream to go, please. Oh, and I brought my own sustainable personal coffee conveyor system. Thank you. I will sit right over there in the corner, and you will not hear a peep from me.
Nice trench coat. I find midnight taupe to be a particularly versatile color, don't you?
That's it. Get out.
Ellie Mae Sederstrom? I thought you were dead.
When we first met, Skippy Poo, you thought I was a lot of things.
Yeah. Hey! You subjected me to unspeakable torture!
I will subject you both to unspeakable lawsuits.
What are you doing here?
Let's find somewhere quiet to talk. I need to show you what's in this bag.
No, I am not going anywhere with you.
All right. I'll show you right here, in the coffee shop.
Oh, what? Oh, gosh! Are those?
They are.
Oh, it's okay. We are leaving.
Good. Take your ridiculous coffee cup and get out. And don't come back begging for baked goods.
No problem. I'm not going to be eating anything for a while. Ugh. Sorry I'm late, team!
Oh, what's wrong with you?
Is this another coffee skip situation?
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Ghost? What? No! There's no such thing as ghosts. There are only people who you thought were dead mysteriously showing up at Been There, Done That.
What's going on, Skip?
Well, you all remember.
Elle Sederstrom!
Sederstrom?
Skip, what is evil Marie Kondo doing here?
Aren't you supposed to be at the bottom of the ocean with the rest of the world's worst criminals?
Well, as it turns out, it's not easy to drown the 2004 Iowa State freediving champion.
Isn't Iowa completely landlocked?
I can hold my breath for 22 minutes.
Skip, what the hell is going on?
This woman tortured
For
you.
God's sake, man, remember what she did to that map!
Yes, but with enough sessions with Dr. Studebaker, I have learned to get less upset by the improper utilization and storage of inanimate objects.
Oh, okay. So you don't mind if I just eat this muffin upside down?
No, I am fine. The truth is, Miss Sederstrom, stop that, has information about a technological advancement that could aid hundreds of criminals, and she is willing to work with us to stop it.
One question. Are you frapping kidding me?
Gloria, I understand
You
why you're...
spent half a year trying to work with a criminal who destroyed all of our computer systems, freed all of our prisoners, and even now has us on the ropes with the Secretary of Defense.
Well, see, about that.
And all it takes for you to forget all of that is this woman walking out of the grave, whispering sweet nothings, and tussling your hair.
That's not what happened.
She's literally tussling your hair right now.
Stop that.
Gee, ease off for a minute. Let me handle this.
Ms. McGrath, please don't tell me you're entertaining this insanity.
Skip, look me in the eyes. Is this a cake situation?
What about cake?
What's a cake situation?
I'll tell you both later.
Oh, feel free to speak plainly.
Shut up, meter maid. Is this a cake situation?
I swear, McGrath, it is not.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Okay.
All right, then.
Now, I haven't had time to prepare a presentation, so I...
That's fine. I don't suppose you happen to have a slide projector available. I've assembled a briefing deck.
Well, these are very well organized. I suppose we... Where did you get slides of this clarity?
Skip.
Right!
Meet Grigory Ivanov, molecular biologist, Russian expat, and for at least a little while longer, my husband. I met Grigory not long after I swam away from the sinking of the SS Russet.
The target is your husband. How very double indemnity of you.
You mistake me, Bowden. I don't want to kill him. I want to destroy him. Financially. In our divorce proceedings.
Ivanov worked for a pharmaceutical company as a low-level researcher
whose bosses didn't care that he was quite literally on the verge of a groundbreaking scientific discovery that could have earned the company billions.
What was the discovery?
How familiar are you with cryonics?
All I know is that Walt Disney's family doesn't want anyone to look too hard under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
The main issue with previous attempts at human cryonic preservation is that freezing basically destroys the brain tissue.
So, Walt Disney...
Isn't ever coming back and casting you in a movie, no.
Modern ventures into cryonics have focused on freezing only the head of the subject, with the hopes of cloning a new body later, but
the brain tissue still deteriorates. Under Grigory's protocol, freezing happens much faster. At a lower temperature.
Maybe we should lower the temperature in here, Skip.
Yes. The protocol also calls for saving stem cells so that any damage done to the brain can be undone upon thawing.
The stem cells are used to grow a new body to match a frozen head. Grigory figured out how to accelerate the process so that decades of human growth could happen in a matter of weeks.
And the technology works?
Not yet. But Grigory has gotten very close.
Honestly, I'm shocked his old big pharma bosses didn't love all this.
They didn't love all of the regulations and risk of litigation that would come with it.
Let me guess. You figured out a way around those regulations?
Is that a Form XX53X?
It is.
I have never seen in all my days.
Next slide.
So I convinced Grigory to walk away from his job. We got married, adopted our dog Fluffy. Then we cloned Fluffy.
Fluffy?
The clones seem to have some issues.
That one has a fin, and it's eating a license plate.
Grigory threw some shark DNA into a few of the attempts for good measure. They're still good boys. We bought a huge swath of land in the Nevada desert for pennies on the dollar, and with his scientific gift and my skill navigating bureaucratic red tape and my Rolodex full of wealthy criminals, we started Underground Immortals, a boutique cryonics company catering to the underworld.
Their clientele, both living and dead, are a veritable who's who of the criminal underworld, all of whom plan to be resuscitated at some point in the future so they can resume their criminal enterprises.
I've prepared a list of clients I think you'll be especially interested in.
This list has 5 of the EMF's 10 most wanted on it.
Not to mention a couple of mob bosses, half a dozen Russian oligarchs.
The CEO of Hasbro, the man responsible for New Coke.
And Martha Stewart?
Honestly, she's my role model. So put together, so organized, so devious.
The point is, gang, if we were to gain access to the Underground Immortals facility and its computer records, we could close 20 cases of international crime, implicate 100 more criminals, recover a cutting-edge medical technique, and prevent its illicit and unethical use in the near future. If a win here wouldn't make us whole again, nothing will.
Okay, Skip. What are our assets, other than your girlfriend here?
Not my girlfriend.
I'd be happy to show you.
Whoa! Holy Better Call Saul!
Oh, it looked at me!
Again.
Meet Dmitri, Sasha, Boris, Katerina, Andrei, Svetlana, Leonid, and Pavel. Or, as I like to call them, my divorce collateral.
Are you seriously just walking around with 8 decapitated heads in a Birkin bag?
Custom made.
This bag costs more than the EMF's annual budget. Aren't you worried that these containers will leak and destroy it with head guts?
No, silly. Each of these heads is hermetically sealed in its own container, which not only has its own freezer unit, but is also equipped with an EEG to make sure the brain activity is still intact. See? Besides, I have 3 more bags just like this one.
With or without heads?
EEGs? Are you saying those heads are freaking alive?
It's a gray area?
Okay, anyone else want this muffin?
No thanks.
I can't.
These are the heads of the Vyatka 8, the leaders of one of the most prolific drug rings in modern Russian history. While on the run from the FSB, they signed contracts with Underground Immortals.
They knew the FSB wasn't going to let them out of the country alive, so their contract stated that upon their deaths, their bodies would be delivered to us.
And why are you carrying their heads around?
Because they happen to be childhood friends of Grigory's. Their families all shared a dasha.
Dare I ask how you came into possession of these heads?
I snuck them out on my way out of our headquarters, among other things.
Team, tomorrow, Miss Sederstrom and her soon-to-be ex-husband are meeting with a divorce mediator at the Underground Immortals headquarters in Nevada so they can finish dividing up their professional and personal assets, records, computers, furniture, assorted body parts.
Plus Fluffy and his genetic identicals.
Ivanov believes the process is nearly complete and should take only half an hour. But with these assets at our disposal...
You mean the frozen heads?
We can drag the meeting out long enough to infiltrate Underground Immortals servers. We'll intercept the mediator at the Las Vegas airport and Bowden will take his place.
Skip, if I only have 24 hours to prepare for this role, I'm going to need some assistance. I haven't played a lawyer since I starred as Atticus Finch in the Yuma Drought Festival's outdoor performance of To Kill a Mockingbird, the non-Sorkin version.
Just use a lot of Latin, Bowden. You'll be fine.
Latin?
I've already taken the liberty of assembling all of the Nevada state legal statutes you'll need to familiarize yourself with in order to get into character. You'll note that the sections are color-coded based on whether we're talking case law, common law, statutory law, legislation, or precedent.
Ooh, that's very thorough of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
The official petition for the dissolution of the marriage is also in there. I've already signed it. Just make sure Grigory signs it too.
Gloria and McGrath, you're going to be posing as IT specialists, hired to verify that the data being transferred from Grigory's computers hasn't been corrupted or falsified.
So we download what we can and corrupt the rest.
Bingo, McGrath. And I'll be a professional mover who Miss Sederstrom has hired to handle the transfer of physical assets between Underground Immortals and her refrigerated moving van.
Skip, don't you think you're going to need a little help moving furniture? And bodies? And head guts?
Oh, Gloria, I'll be fine. That's why they invented wheels. Any questions?
And what's in this for you, Sederstrom?
Just the complete destruction of my husband's business, finances, and reputation. I'm ready to go full scorched earth since I caught him doing shots of Stole out of his assistant.
Any other questions?
Skip, have you run this operation past Section Chief Anders?
Zelda and Pat, as you know, are on vacation, and the section chief has given me limited authority to take care of things in their absence. Zelda said, and I quote, "Don't call me unless something's on fire. Don't worry, the section chief will be fully briefed upon our successful return."
Yep, got a real good feeling about this one now.
Oh, but Ellie Mae, it was nothing. Just a little stolichnaya between comrades.
A little stolichnaya and nothing else, you mean?
I could not find shot glasses. Drinking from the bottle would be unsanitary. I tried to explain, but you smashed up my laboratory and stormed out.
You would have been able to walk right over that broken glass if you were wearing shoes or anything else.
Okay.
Mr. and Mrs. Grigory Ivanov?
That's Ms. Ellie Mae Sederstrom, thank you.
I see. Pleasure to meet you both. I'm Richard Watson, your mediator.
Ah, Watson. Like Crick and Watson, the pioneers of DNA. A very auspicious sign.
Yes, another man who took the credit for a woman's accomplishments and then became a dumpster fire in his old age.
Who's old?
Miss Sederstrom, Mr. Ivanov, there's no need for things to get contentious.
They are already contentious.
No need for things to get contentious, sir.
Oh, contentious.
More contentious.
That. Oh, and yes, I caught a ride, Miss Sederstrom, with your technology auditors, Philomena Idlewild and Charmaine Minzer.
Nice to meet you.
Yo.
And I'm Horatio Lakewood. I'm responsible for the transfer of your physical assets.
You hired just one guy? To move everything? Sorry, she probably expected my assistant Fyodor to help you out.
Your assistant?
Duh.
Hi, big guy. Wanna lend a hand with moving some furniture?
That is not my department, little guy.
Let's move this inside and get started, shall we? Now, Miss Idlewild and Miss Minzer, I assume you're going to need access to the server to authenticate those assets and make sure they're shared securely.
And that he's not cheating and sending me home with some worthless decoy.
Ellie Mae, you know I would never...
Cheat? You would never cheat? I believe there's a shattered test tube array that tells a different story.
I feel I should remind you that this will go much more smoothly if you both, mitiskere.
Meet a what?
It means calm down.
Maybe save the Latin for the negotiations, lawyer man.
Ladies, the server room is through here. Please make yourselves comfortable. There is a mini fridge with snacks next to the first workstation.
Oh, thank you, but I don't think we'll be needing...
Thanks. Very generous of you.
Fyodor, show these ladies to the main terminal. And keep an eye on them. They are here merely to authenticate and transfer my soon-to-be former wife's assets. Nothing more.
Da, tovarish. Right this way, ladies.
Well, come along, here we are. Oh.
Very good. May I suggest we exeunt to the conference locus, as we lawyers definitely call it.
And I'll begin moving your personal and business assets from your storage facilities to... Whoa!
Mr. Lakewood, I'm afraid it looks like you'll be busting your gluteus maximus.
I don't know what Ivanov and Sederstrom ever saw in each other. I hate to say it, but she's a better match for Mr. Lakewood.
All right, Fyodor, show us to the main terminal.
Right here.
You gonna turn it on?
Not my department.
Fine, I'll do it. Whoa.
What's wrong? Is something missing?
Kind of the opposite.
Oh my goodness! 600 levels of subfolders?
The directory structure is like an Einstein-Rosen bridge, and the file names are in Russian. How the hell am I supposed to find any actual client data here, Fyodor?
Not my department.
This is the most intricate and overcomplicated filing system I've ever seen.
Well, I think we just figured out what these two saw in each other.
So we're in agreement then. You're making an, unus pro uno trade, as established in the, Nevada State Constitution, Article 5, Section 3. Mr. Ivanov gets the grand piano.
I'll just bring the piano to Mr. Ivanov's office.
Very good. And Miss Sederstrom gets the antique French chiffre-robe.
Yes, it is her family heirloom. It is only right that I return it to her.
Thank you, Grigory. I know how much you admired it.
Might want to check the drawers, though.
I'm sorry?
I left you a small present from Fluffy 27.
Grigory, how could you?
Hey, you hurt me. I hurt you.
Very good. Mr. Lakewood, after you deposit the piano, please fetch the antique chiffre-robe and bring it back to Miss Sederstrom's truck. And, be sure to empty the drawers first.
As you wish.
It's not taking bash commands. And since everything is in the Cyrillic alphabet, it's also...
Theodore, can you tell us the command to sort these by date, at least?
N.
N?
O.
Oh.
To my department.
Okay, move over, Philomena. I've got a Russian-English dictionary, and I'm going in.
No, it's okay. No need to offer any help. I got it. Your chiffre-robe, Miss Sederstrom.
Thanks. You can put it in the truck. And, while you're there, please grab the boxes labeled Encyclopedia Britannica 1954 to 1996. I've decided Mr. Ivanov can actually keep that collection. I'm trying to downsize.
Oh, great.
Actually, Mr. Lakewood, may I, approach the bench?
I suppose?
Skip, let me just take a moment to personally apologize for the many times in the past when I've said your mission prep was, shall we say, overdone.
Okay, what's wrong?
I tried, man. I tried so hard to get through that binder of Nevada law Ellie Mae gave us, but I couldn't.
I'm sorry, Bowden. You have to get through this mediation.
Watson.
Yes, Mr. Lakewood. We'll take those encyclopedias now. Tempus fugit.
Oh.
My apologies. Let's skip ahead to...
Is that allowed?
Sure, under, res ipsa liquidor. The thing speaks for itself.
Okay. Let us skip ahead to Section 12, Subsection 15, your Birkin bags.
Excuse me?
You never have had a Birkin bag before we met. Now you have 4. Those bags were bought with money we made together. I'll take 2. I already checked the resale value on the real. It's very good.
Miss Sederstrom?
1. You can have 1 bag.
No stalling. I know you always keep at least 1 bag with you.
Don't fret, Grigory. I'll give you your bag very, very soon.
I must insist, ladies, that you complete your work immediately.
What's the rush?
It is almost time for battle bots on Discovery Channel. I like to watch them destroy each other.
I admit, that's a good reason. Holy... Gloria, Lytle Wild! Get over here!
What?
Are these genome sequences?
They look like it, but there are huge portions missing. This isn't what we expected.
There have to be hundreds of thousands of sequenced individuals.
What? That's impossible. Underground Immortals doesn't have that many clients. There aren't that many criminals who could afford them. Who are these people?
It's going to take us forever to search through and...
Oh my god, look at that entry!
Where?
34 Dobro 906.
Einstein, Albert? What the hell is this, Fyodor?
You do not have Albert Einstein's body in storage!
Of course not.
But you have 39% of his genome?
You don't think...
You people are going way beyond cryonics, aren't you?
Are you trying human cloning?
Is your boss planning on selling clone armies to the Kremlin, Fyodor?
Do you want me to say it, or shall you?
Not your department. I want to see who you've got in here besides Einstein.
Miss Mizner, we're supposed to be securing Miss Sederstrom's assets.
I have no idea how to organize these files other than searching by individual names.
Fine. I'm going to use the secondary terminal to help clean this mess up.
I'm going to search for Richard Nixon.
Why are you searching for Richard Nixon?
I want to clone him.
Why?
Punch him in the face.
If you seriously want to clone someone, then go clone Einstein.
The technology does not yet exist to clone any of these subjects, even if you had a reason.
I'm sure we can think of a reason to bring back Albert Einstein.
I can. To punch him in the face.
What? Why?
Philandering.
I don't think Ivanov is creating this database to resurrect people for the sole purpose of punching them in the face.
I don't see why not.
This is the next phase of Underground Immortals cryonics technology. 8 Russian drug dealers are nothing compared to a clone army.
Almost finished, tech auditors?
We're barely started.
What?
Skip, this goes way deeper than we could have imagined. Whitmire will be thrilled. We'll get there. Just buy us some time.
I'll do my best, but Bowden has exhausted his Latin and moved on to lines from Legal Eagle YouTube videos.
I'm sure you can come up with something.
Hey, Fyodor, who would you bring back?
That is not my department. Yes,
right.
okay.
But come on. There's gotta be someone you're curious about, right?
Will you stop and get back to work? The lawyer is running out of lawyering.
Don't be a killjoy. Come on, Fyodor. Who would you bring back?
I would revive Lavrenti Pavlovich Beria,
Who?
head of Soviet state security under Joseph Stalin himself, the most ruthless and powerful secret police chief ever produced by Mother Russia, a man feared even by his allies and whose name meant death to his enemies.
Why on earth would you bring back a man like that?
To punch him in the face.
Yeah, Fyodor!
I think you two aren't quite being respectful of this technology.
Here he is. Beria, 94%.
Very close to face punching.
We could just swap in some shark DNA.
It would be an improvement.
Perhaps we should...
We could bring back Brezhnev and make them punch each other in the face.
Throw in Woodrow Wilson and I am sold.
Ha! Let's do this.
Miss Minzer, what are you doing?
I'm getting Fyodor to help me sort through this vast database.
Oh!
So we can find more people to punch in the face.
Adolf Hitler?
If they have Hitler, I'm just gonna delete him.
Margaret Thatcher.
Coming right up.
And so, by the pendente lite of Mutatis Mutandis, as seen in QWERTY versus Dvorak, under the Nevada laws of Champerty, the heart bomb tort referred to in section 64.b shall be rendered only unto a fertile octogenarian via trial by combat. Any questions?
Yes.
Oh?
Are we almost finished? I am ready to sign.
Thank God.
Oh, Mr. Lakewood?
Yes?
We're almost done here.
No, we need more time. I mean, Miss Idlewild and Miss Minzer need more time.
Will you excuse us just for a moment, Mr. Ivanov?
Don't mind me. I'll check my voicemails.
We're kinda out of things to say here.
Perhaps it's time to bring in my Birkin bag.
Now?
Now.
Okay, let's hope this works.
Are we ready now? List page. I see you've signed already, my darling.
I have. But before you sign, there's just one more item you'll want to see.
Okay, just put it there.
What is in that bag?
I believe it's one final item for discussion.
First, Mr. Lakewood, you can bring me my dogs.
Very well. Little guy. They are across the hall, in the room marked kennel.
I really don't think I can get all 43 dogs in one trip.
The dog kennel is modular. Just use the forklift.
You mean all this time there was a forklift?
Oops.
Try to be thorough in your negotiations, Mr. Watson.
Doing my best here, Mr. Lakewood. So, perhaps before we discuss this final item, we should discuss the modus potens of the Vastiferans. Or we could just dump severed heads all over the table.
Dmitri, Sasha, Boris, Katerina, Andrei, Svetlana, Leonid, and Pavel. How? I had them in the freezer unit.
I think you'll find, if you go look in your freezer unit, several frozen cantaloupes.
Okay, the dogs are here. Oh, I see you're still in the middle of negotiations.
I should have you arrested. You stole from me. Tell her what laws she has broken here.
Oh, me? Oh, well, carrying heads in a Birkin bag is certainly a fashion crime of sorts.
Fine, enough! These heads are mine now. I will sign these papers, and you will get out! And when I bring my old friends back, perhaps you will find them waiting for you in your new house one night.
I don't see how you could bring them back, seeing as I flushed their stem cells down the toilet.
Oh, snap!
Now sign.
Bowden, stop this!
How?
The most beautiful document I've ever prepared.
Oh.
My paperwork!
Why did you do that, Lakewood?
Frankly, I'm a little shocked that I was capable of such a thing.
It's the most horrifying carnage I've ever seen.
Again, the table is literally covered in severed heads.
Section 4, Article 3, Addendum 6.J. You!
Oh, okay, Ellie Mae, listen.
Disgust
I'm sorry,
me! What did I ever see in you?
Him!
You're strangling me.
You're an inhuman monster!
Order in the court!
You know what? Screw your paperwork!
You take that back!
I need one piece of paper. This one! I'm signing it there! Divorce! Take your papers and get out with your mangy dogs!
I'll give you dogs!
No, leave the kennel latch!
Oh, God!
There's so many dogs! There's exactly 43 of them!
Ms. Minzer, have you almost gone through your portion of the data?
Just about. Fyodor did great. I have to...
Oh, what? A dog? Why?
Fyodor, keep him away from the power strips.
You, or I will make you into steaks.
Another one!
Oh no, it has 3 eyes.
Get off me, mutt! Idlewild, get them out!
Okay, fine. Here, boys, or girls, or preferred dog encounters. Oh my god!
Look out!
Oh my god, so many! They're getting into the wiring!
Oh, shit!
Come on, we need to get out of here!
Ellie Mae, stop!
It's over, Skip. It's clear to me now it was never going to work out between us. Mush, Fluffy!
Jeez! McGrath! Bowden! Gloria? Did everyone get out?
I think so.
Oh, the fur. Oh, is that Ellie Mae? Motioning a team of dogs away across the sand?
Using an antique French chifforobe as a sled?
Okay, fine. Why not?
Into the moving truck, team! We'll catch her.
Oh, what?
The license plates are missing!
Oh, look at that. One of her dogs is eating them.
She did it. Ellie Mae, that criminal mastermind, knew I would never knowingly commit a moving violation by following her in a van with no plates.
Oh, give me a break, Skip.
Right, of course. Gloria, you drive. Let's go get... Oh,
Apologies,
Mikey!
What?
Fyodor?
No, come back!
What the hell, man? I thought we were buds.
Fyodor! Come help me rescue my research! Shut it, Fyodor!
How far to the nearest town?
63 miles.
Hi, Section Chief.
This had better be good.
So, remember you told me not to call unless something was on fire? Well, you're never gonna believe this, but...
Mission Rejected was created and produced by Pete Barry, J. Michael DeAngelis, and John Dowgin. This episode was written by Pete Barry and Jill Ivey and directed by Pete Barry. It starred Chris Klaniecki as Skip Granger, Nazli Sarpkaya as Mackenzie McGrath, Dave Stanger as Bowden Montcrief, Paige Klaniecki as Gloria Kovak, Faith Dowgin as Section Chief Zelda Anders, with Kirk White as Chet Phillips and Katerina McGrath as the Mission Voice. Also starring Ashley Banks as Athena O'Brien, Gene Barry as Quinn Corrino, Jill Ivey as Elle Mae Sederstrom, and Bob Killion as Security Guy and the Admiral. Guest starring J. Michael DeAngelis as Davin Ford, Pete Barry as Grigory, and Dave Serfass as Fyodor. Did you notice I didn't have any lines this month? I did. Why not complain about it on the official Mission Rejected Discord? Connect with fellow fans, share fan art, and participate in listen-alongs and Q&As with cast and crew. To join, visit www.missionrejected.com and click on the Discord icon at the top of the screen. This has been a Portrait production, copyright 2023, Extraordinary Missions Limited.
Attaboy, Foster. Good boy, Charles. We're almost there. Attaboys. Yes, we're there. Good boys.
Miss Sederstrom, I presume? You chose quite the remote location for our clandestine meeting. Your dogs certainly make an impression. I presume you have what I'm looking for?
I do, Mr. Ford. Yes, Fluffy. Mommy is so happy she got you in the divorce settlement, too. I just need your collar here. And inside we should have... There you are. Oh, you're excited, yes. Who's a good boy? Who hid this vital genetic sequencer and a chip in his collar for me? Was it you? Yes. Yes, it was.
And it, works?
Perfectly. I discovered it was successful about 5 minutes before I discovered my husband's infidelity. I destroyed the evidence of the effective trial and transferred the notes to this chip, wiping the original files from the Underground Immortals server.
So the EMF didn't recover the complete technology themselves? You know my employer prefers to have sole proprietary rights as opposed to the EMF's new policy of, sharing advancements with John and Jane Q. Public.
The technology resides solely with me. Even if the bunker hadn't imploded, they never would have been able to make it work without this. So I'm sure we can work out a licensing deal.
Miss Sederstrom, perhaps I made myself unclear. For you to be on our payroll, we'd like to purchase the technology outright for future use. I don't know anybody that we currently need cloned or revived from the dead.
Perhaps I can interest you in a particular individual?
Why, mercy me, I couldn't think of a single one.
Follow me. I have just come into possession of a new frozen head.
I thought you said all your heads were destroyed.
All of our company's heads were destroyed. This head was frozen in a more traditional way. It cost me a pretty penny to recover it. The brain may not be salvageable, but with this gene sequencer, we should be able to clone an entirely new body.
It was frozen in ice?
Yes, here in Antarctica.
What? No. You don't mean... Sweet Jesus. Is that...
Yes, Mr. Ford. The frozen head of Hunter Ridley Randolph Fletcher. Although you might know him better as the Admiral.